Lands of the living. This is your Gullah girl on the new show here on WBOK called On the Move. It's just a pleasure to be here with you today. It's just a beautiful day outside. I don't care what they say. It's something to smile about. Something that warms me up on the inside. You know what I'm saying, sister? It just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy and stuff. You feel me? So we just want to say give thanks for the day. We want to give thanks for the Creator on this beautiful day. And we want to say that if you're listening to me right now, that means that somebody else is not listening. So what I need you to do is just tap that individual on the shoulder and make sure you tell them to tune in live to www.WBOK1230am.com. And I have some people out there who prefer listening on their phone. So those people out there, my family who like the phones a little bit more than the computer, please check us out and download the app. The app is going to look like WBOK. It's going to actually look like this. If I tell you it's going to look just like that, and you're going to download that app, you know what I'm saying, on your Android or your iPhone. And today, because we have such a great topic, I know that you're going to want to call in. So I'm going to go ahead and give you that number early on, because I know that you're going to call in today, because today's topic is effective communication with our children. Ooh, y'all wasn't ready for that. I'm going to say that again. Today's topic is effective communication with our children. So you might want to get a pen, a piece of paper and stuff. And this is not just for New Orleans. This is just for anybody who's listening, anybody who works with children, anybody who's dealing with children. And Dr. Wakefall already knows about effective mental health. So we're going to be talking about that today, brother. So if you want to chime in, definitely feel free to do that as well. But you could definitely call in, or you could just put a message in on Facebook Live. That number is 504-260-9265. That number is 504-260-9265. And so we want to thank everybody for coming out, listening to us on yesterday. It was kicks on yesterday, as always, as we do here on The Move. And so we want to thank the Ogden Museum for coming in on yesterday. They did a marvelous job. What this community program is about is making sure that we are able to give you guys what you need, and that is stuff to push our community forward, to propel us moving forward, straight ahead. That's why we on the move. And so that's why we're going to keep it like that. But today, before we go any further, we're going to give you a few updates. Today, we want to let you know that Super Live Heat Days is Tuesday, January 16th through Friday, January 19th. Senior Day is January 16th, and that's 60 years of age only. Over 60 years of age only. And so Tuesday, January 16, 2018, at the Tremay Center on 900 North Villery Street, there will be Super Live Heat Days, and that is for individuals who need assistance with their light bill. Y'all know how Live Heat works. We definitely make sure that we want to give our families and our seniors an opportunity to stay warm in this weather, to be able to have heat or AC when it's cold or when it's warm. So we want to make sure that we do that. So on Thursday, January 18th at Algiers Berman, 2529 General Meyer. Wednesday, January 17th, and Friday, January 19th. So we will definitely have those days. We're going to list those again. Make sure that we're going to tell you what you're going to need to bring in order to be able to get the assistance that you need. So be on the lookout. We're going to talk more about that. And then please join Take 'em Down NOLA and the People's Assembly for a Freedom Rally and Speak Out. Doors open at noon, or come after the MLK Parade. Crescent City Boxing Gym, 3101 Arado Street. Y'all already know how we do it around here. So make sure that you are listening. For those who are just chiming in, y'all, thank y'all for coming in on The Move. Today is Family First Fridays. Exciting. Family First. So we put in the community first, Family First Fridays. And today, y'all, we have a special treat. We have everybody. She said she has no name, but today she has a name. And we're going to give her a name. She has her own identity because her mother birthed her by herself. You know what I'm saying? She's not a twin, but she is a sibling, And so we're going to bring it on over this way right here. And so we're going to tell you to scoot on over.
There we go.
There you go. And so today we have with us Sister Melanie Richardson, right? And she is one of the founders of Training Grounds.
Yes.
And so I'm going to let you do a brief introduction and tell them what Training Grounds is, but don't give them too much.
Not too much?
Yeah,
okay.
Because when we come back, then we're going to dive into all of this information that she has on here discussing effective communication with our children. And we're always talking about family, how we can move forward, how we can propel. And this is just another way. This is not her last time on the show. So y'all give her some love, y'all, and make sure you ask questions about effect. And this can also go with parenting. This can go with spouses. This can go with, because we have children. We have single parent homes. We have moms and dads, and sometimes the kids go from back and forth. So this conversation, this is about this. You know what I'm saying? So if you have those questions, I'm chiming in. I'm looking in on Facebook. So when you see my head going this way to that way, just trying to make sure that we give you, we're answering the questions that you're mentioning. So go ahead, sis. I'm done talking.
You're done? Okay. Training Grounds is a nonprofit organization that is designed to provide knowledge and information to families and communities to move them forward. We really focus on 0 to 5, although we do some programming for children of older ages. But Training Grounds is really a resource for families, a resource for parents and caregivers that are working with children that may have some questions. A lot of things have changed over time, and we know that there's some ways that we can do some things a little bit better or a little bit differently. And so Training Grounds is that resource for families for all things 0 to 5 with children.
Whew. Now, family. Now we're talking about, and I love you too, Delman. By the way, we have people from Kenya. Okay. That are watching currently. We got people in Charleston. We got people that's in, I think she said she's in Seattle. So this is for everybody. So you're reaching a wide audience. And we just want to say thank you so much for tuning in with us as we move forward, as we propel forward. So today is a very special topic. And all week long, we've been talking about communication, what we can do to move forward, bringing our families forward. And this goes for, we got Vivian Sampson all the way from Arizona just chiming in. And she's a big proponent of family first, multicultural education, and just making sure that we're providing what we need for our families in order for them to grow and sustain. And so we just want to say big ups to all of you guys that are out there listening and supporting us as we continue to go forward. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to take just a quick little break, family, because we need to get into, we don't want to waste no time and getting into this. I'm telling you, y'all, look, she got papers upon papers upon papers today. And so we want to make sure classmates, all big ups to Burke High School out there in Charleston, South Carolina, representing, you know what I'm saying? We just want to say thank y'all for tuning in, but we have a great conversation for you guys today. Please do not go anywhere. Stay tuned, because we will be right back with On the Move on WBOK 1230 AM, family. Thank you. Cool. You still going? Okay, you still going. Oh, okay. So you can talk about it if you want to right there. You can let the people know. Let the people know first of all that you have your own identity.
I do. For years I've been known as Peter Muhammad, Peter Haroon's sister, Aaron Richardson's sister, and Seneca Knight's mother. I am Melanie Richardson. And so it's nice to know that I am so connected to those three men in my family, but it is also nice to be recognized as Melanie. So yes. Thank you so much, sister, for giving me my identity today. I appreciate that.
She has her own identity. But family, thank y'all so much. I see everybody tuning in, joining in. Even if you tune in for 10 seconds or less, it's always a humbling feeling to know that you're just taking the time.
The New Orleans East Clinic is now open and accepting appointments to meet your healthcare needs. Located on the 6th floor of the New Orleans East Hospital at 5620 Green Boulevard. The New Orleans East Clinic is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. to service your medical needs, accepting all major insurances, get comprehensive medical expertise in one convenient location. Our team of multi-specialty physicians focuses on primary care,
we have come so far from that. I hope, and if not, by the end of today's show, I know that we will.
Comprehensive medical services to improve your overall quality of life. Call 592-6760 today to schedule an appointment with the New Orleans East Clinic. Quality health care close to home. Call 592-6760 today to schedule an appointment with the New Orleans East Clinic.
And so, and say it again.
They learn from not what we say, but what we do. So how we communicate with each other.
Come out to the New Orleans Gumbo Trade House Party on Friday, January 27th a.m. at the Miracles Event Hall. Get the financial tricks of the trade and learn how to get the most for your money. You don't want to miss the Gumbo Trade Show hosted by Dr. Yolanda Griffin and millionaire Chief Apostle Leonard Lucas Jr. Enjoy food, drinks, door prizes. Come out and register to win a free iPhone.
Don't boycott me. Don't boycott me.
But $15 for IML members. $5 and $5 for gifts. This is a trade show that you don't want to miss. Join us at the New Orleans Gumbo Trade House Party, Friday, January 12th, 7 p.m. at the Miracles Event Hall. Don't forget, register today at www.yglive.com.
Barbecue, and that's an interesting topic. And so y'all stay tuned for that too. Dr. Kanye's all the way from Manning, South Carolina. Big up.
For more than a decade, the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce
if y'all don't know a black scientist, y'all just met one. Y'all say hello, Dr. Kanye.
Minority businesses by connecting members through our Deliverance 365 campaign. We support our members through advocacy, events, and referrals while maintaining a mission to promote economic growth and development throughout the region. For information on how to become a member, call 504-948-0991 or visit norbchamber.org. Again, it's 504-948-0991.
And so we're excited. We're actually about to get back on the air. We got a few
Universal Printing in New Orleans East is the place to go for all of your digital printing needs. Universal Printing offers a wide range of printing services and promotional products. They handle everything from business cards to personalized prescription pads. They even print yard signs, banners, and vehicle magnets. Stop by Universal Printing at 9900 Lake Forest Boulevard in New Orleans East near Reed, or give them a call at 504-244-1177. That's 504-244-1177. Come on down to Universal Printing and let the experts handle all of your printing, marketing, and promotional needs, so you don't have to.
And how do we do that? Or we'll get into details and tips about how do we let the other person know that we are truly listening.
Do you need help with a mental, addictive, or developmental disability? Are you uninsured, Medicaid eligible, or covered?
With the baby,
If
with the
so,
putting them out all the way from
Human
DC.
Services
We want to say
District
thank you
is
so
here
much
to
for
help.
tuning in.
I am
Make
Dr.
sure that
Rochelle
you share it
Dunham,
too, family, because we want to make sure
Executive
that we're
Medical Director for
propelling
MHSD, where
and
we
moving
provide
forward. So we give
expert
thanks for
care
that.
and resources
We're
to
about
help
to get up
you
next, so
maintain your
hold on,
recovery.
don't go nowhere.
Make
Stay
that
right
first
there.
step. Call us at 504-568-3130
So what
or
would you like to
visit
start
mhsdla.org. MHSD is where we change
Mental
lives.
health and mindfulness.
WBOK, New Orleans.
Mental health and mindfulness.
Let's start off with being in the moment when you're in the company of one
Yo, family. How you doing? It's a beautiful day to be in the land of the living, and we are right here once again on the new show on WBOK called On the Move, bringing you all the best information that we need to be able to propel the community forward. And we just want to say thank you so much for listening and tuning in with us today. If you are tuning in with us right now, that means that you are paying attention to us, but that means somebody else is not listening. So I just need you to tap that person. I'll just give that person a text and tell them to tune in live right now at www.WBOK1230am.com. And then we also have options for you, for our folks who like to listen to things on the phone. We want to make sure that you can hear us as well. So you can download on Google Play for your Androids and your iPhone, folks. Y'all know how to do the iStore and all that stuff. Make sure you download the thing that look like this in the back, WBOK 1230 AM. That's how you're going to find us on your phone. And because our conversation is so, our topic is so amazing today, I know that you guys are going to want to chime in, either typing in on Facebook Live or chiming in on the phone. Feel free to give us a ring at 504-260-9265. That is 504-260-9265. So we just want to say thank y'all so much. You know, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at WBOK 1230 AM, or you can just follow me too, Kyndra Joi, KYNDRAJOI. Y'all already know how we rocking around here. So what we want to do now, I'm not even going to talk anymore. I just want to dive into, because this topic is plaguing our community.
Yes.
And it's Family First Fridays. And so we have Family First Fridays here every Friday, where we're just going to be talking about something that's going to propel our community forward. And so communication is the topic for today. And what we want to do is to be able to give out tips and information and facts that will be able to help us not only be able to communicate better amongst ourselves and each other, but with our children who are watching us and coming up and pretty much modeling the same behaviors, which are not sometimes the best behaviors, but modeling the same behaviors that we're displaying. And so we want to kind of shake up that ground and make sure that we're able to begin to plant lively seeds, positive seeds, seeds that are going to propel them in the right direction, quote unquote right direction, but the direction of productivity. So I'm done talking. We're going to bring on my sister right here. Family First Fridays, you guys. Melanie Richardson from Training Grounds.
Thank you so much. And this is a hot topic right now.
It is.
This really is. And one of the things when we talked about setting it up and kind of looking at it is that we're going to talk about communication, not just with teenagers or adolescents or with our spouses or significant others. We're going to talk about where it starts. And I think that that's really important. I see one of our listeners has a 10-month-old sitting right there.
With his foot in his mouth. That's Alma D over there. Hey, Alma.
And I think that it's important that we realize that communication starts day one with our children. And we set the tone for how they receive communication with their parents from the very beginning. So if they're crying, they're communicating with us. They're telling us something's wrong. And if we're not responding to them, then they learn very early that their voice is not important. Imagine that a 3-month-old is learning, not necessarily cognitively, but they're picking up on the cues. They realize I cry because something's wrong, and the adults don't come to my need. They don't come to see what's wrong with me. Then that means I can't trust the adults. That's in my life. Imagine that. Imagine that. We're thinking that communication is starting when they're 4 and 10 and they stop communicating with us when they're 16. But we set the tone for effective communication so early. And I'm not sure that we really understand how important and significant that really is.
Well, let me ask you this question because usually, old school, I'm old school. My godmother raised me, grandmother, my aunties, y'all know how you do. The village raises one child. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much like that anymore. But back in the day, 30 and above, I would say. 35 maybe? What would you say, Cora? About 35 maybe and above? The village the church raised you. People raised you. Like, I was a church baby. So when children cry, they say, let them cry for a little bit. You don't want to spoil a baby. How true is that? And just to let you know, she's a social worker, LMSW. We're both LMSW. Social workers rock. All right.
Yes, there we go.
Black social workers in the building, There are good social workers left out there. Please do not get it twisted because we are in full effect. But what is that, like a truth? Is that a myth? Like, what is that about spoiled children?
I think that we have to think about it in ages and stages.
Okay.
If you have an infant that is, a month old, and they're crying for a reason. That's their only way to effectively communicate.
Okay.
And so what we don't want to do is say, just let them cry, because that means that there's a need that they have that's not being met.
Okay.
And then, as you know, as a social worker, you start to get into attachment and trust issues, and there's a whole lot of other things that are impacted as a result of just letting them cry. Okay. Now, there's a time where we begin to help them to soothe themselves, and that will come in time. But once again, we still want to make certain that we're responding to their needs, even if it is a matter of helping them to understand that they need to soothe themselves and they need to kind of gather themselves. And that will come. But I can tell you that children whose needs are met will soothe themselves a whole lot easier. Because they know their needs are met. So it kind of goes hand in hand with soothing and communicating and just being responsive. And that's the first part of communicating with our young children. And so we can talk about the language and how important it is to talk to children. We should be talking from day one.
Should we be saying goo goo gaga?
Oh, now, we're past that. We're not going to even go there because I know that as a community, as a society, we are past the baby talk.
We are past the baby talk.
We know that.
Our culture is definitely past the baby talk.
We are past that. We are having discussions, conversations with our children from day one.
Okay.
And you can talk about anything. It doesn't really matter. It's about them hearing words. It's about them talking. And so with that being said, we want to make certain that we give wait time.
Okay.
And when I say wait time is that if you're talking to with a 10-month-old and you say something, give them time
to respond.
Oh, okay. And they're not going to use words. We know that. Their vocabulary is not developed yet, but it's the process of learning effective communication.
So when they're fussing at you, because usually they be fussing, and you tell them something, don't do that, and they go back. That means that they're forming their words in their mind.
They're trying to figure out how we're going to do this. But if we don't model it, as we talked about, if we don't model that effective communication, I say something and then I wait and then you say something, then they don't understand that. And so bringing in television, when we talk about, a lot of parents are telling me, oh, my child is learning so much about on television. They're learning their ABCs and their numbers. But guess what? They're not learning effective communication.
Yeah. Wow.
Because Elmo talks to them for an hour. They never get to talk to Elmo.
So the biggest thing about the children in development is just making sure that we talk back. And I think as a community we do a good job, and even sometimes it's not the best type of communication, but we do communicate. We do communicate with them when they're speaking. So like the whole, hey, how you doing, big man? Come here, fat daddy. All of that good stuff.
Right.
All of those things are important, but sometimes we do have the other side of communication that is not the best.
Right, and we just have to make certain that we pick our words. And as a social worker, you and I both know that words are powerful.
Yeah, they are.
Because words can be replayed over and over and over again. So when we get to toddler and school-age children, and we're using certain words to talk to them or communicate with them, we need to think about the impact that those words will have on them for years to come. And for us, it may just be a joke. Oh, look at Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
Internalize that. What does that mean when we think of a child being called Miss Piggy, it's normally a baby that's kind of a real healthy baby, or a child that's a little bit maybe on the, a little bit overweight or have a couple extra pounds on them. So now what are we telling them? How are they internalizing that? Because we could be joking as adults, but how is that impacting the child?
I got a quick question to ask, and please forgive me, because I know that we have a lot of stuff that we're trying to dive into, but one of the questions that you made me think of something. In the school systems, right, we have so many kids that are just little adults.
Right.
And we try to mimic appropriate or effective communication with these little, like their vocabulary is like that of a 25-year-old, their stance, their mannerisms. How can we as adults who understand the importance of effective communication, how can we begin to, and I know they say, and I tell parents this all the time, keep modeling positive behavior. But what happens when, like for all my school teachers out there, for all of my parents who are dealing with, my coaches who are out there, and you got that unruly kid, what is the best response from a cultural perspective? And let's break that down, because I know we have a lot of culture. We have a lot of people of color listening. Let's break that down. From a cultural perspective, how can we begin to consistently model that effective behavior, effective communication?
Right. I think the first thing is really understanding that children will mimic what they see. So if a child is behaving in a way that is unruly, it is because that is what they have seen.
Yeah.
That is what they have seen modeled, and they have seen it be effective.
Yeah.
So if yelling or using choice words has proven to be effective in their community, then when they go outside of their immediate community and to other communities, then they're going to use what they've seen to be effective.
That seems so simple. But I just want you to repeat it one more time. I know it seems super simple, but I just repeat it one more time.
Right. And so we want to make, they model what has been effective. And I think that it's proven to be effective. It's either gotten someone to respond. It's gotten someone to do something that the adults wanted them to do. It has sparked a certain kind of emotion, feeling, or response. And that is the response that people want. So when they want a similar response, they're going to revert back to what they know and what they've seen. So I think as educators, coaches, we have to be mindful of that first. Because if we know that is what the child is doing, is modeling, then now we realize we have to unteach to then teach.
And that's a big thing that we often, just in general, I think more conversations. Y'all, this is Family First Friday for those of you guys who are just joining in. We just want to say thank you so much. And today's topic here on Family First Fridays is effective communication with our children. And so we have Ms. Melanie Richardson here, who's a LMSW, who's a part of Training Grounds here. And we're talking about this because this is really plaguing our community. It's plaguing our community to the point that I was on Brother W.C. Johnson's show on Wednesday night, and an elderly lady, one of our elders in the community called in, and she was just like, she don't want to be bothered with us. She don't want to be bothered with the younger ones. She don't want to be bothered with anyone because, in the community, we call it no-man-it. You know what I'm saying? So we're no-man-it, and so this is how we begin to break down barriers of our communication. generationally as well as in our community. And so Sister Melanie is here with us today from Training Grounds, checking us out. My sister Jamila just joined in. We give thanks, sis. We give thanks for Jessica joining in. We give thanks for First Lady Ford. We appreciate you so much. Inez, we appreciate you so much. Thank you. And Inez can talk about it too, because she's out there in the community doing mental health work. So we already know what it takes for us, but we need to do it as a community. So sis, let's continue the conversation on family first and effective communication with our children.
Okay, so now once we're available for our children and making certain that we're attentive and that we're listening, put the cell phones down when you're talking with your child.
Yeah.
Turn the television off.
Say it again.
Put the cell phones down. We don't need to be surfing, texting when we're communicating. We think we can multitask, but we really can't. It's not.
But we can't multitask. The adults can't multitask.
The adults can't multitask. The children can't multitask. So we need to put those things aside and have real face-to-face conversations.
Wow.
Being in the moment.
Wow.
And letting them know that what they have to say as children, it's important to you.
It is important.
It's important enough to put that cell phone down.
So if we want to have meaningful conversations with our children, that means that we need to begin to have meaningful conversations amongst ourselves without the cell phone, without Facebook, we give thanks for Facebook in order for us to be able to do these things, to have this venue. But we need to begin to, once again, model that behavior.
And that is the hardest thing. I know, myself, my family, we implemented a rule that I am on the phone so much with work. So I'm answering calls, I'm talking to families, I'm doing things. And my son one day said, Ma, when you walk into the house, like you're gone 12 hours of the day.
Wow.
When you walk into the house, can you not come into the house on your cell phone?
Wow. Your son actually.
My son, he's
How
like,
old is he?
He's 17 now, but I have to say this was maybe when he was about 12 or 13.
Wow.
That he's like, can you please? Because now, just be mindful, he's been waiting all day to tell me about his day.
Yeah.
So when I walk into the house and I'm on the cell phone and I'm taking care of business and he understands that, but he's been waiting all day to talk to me, to communicate with me. And now he has to wait. Like he heard the car, he heard the keys, he heard the door, and bam, he's ready.
Yeah, he's ready to tell you everything. Just give it all to you.
And I'm standing there saying, one more. Give me one more minute. Give me one more minute. I'm almost done. And so when he brought that to my attention, I recognized that, I had to be honest with myself.
Yeah.
That was so unfair to him.
Yeah.
That I needed to not walk into the house on the cell phone.
Wow. So, family time, I know that sounds real whack, y'all. I know that sounds real, leave it to Beaverish. Leave it to Beaverish. Okay, leave it to Beaverish, but family time, even if it's 10 minutes of just intentional time with family, it's really, really important that we have that. What's up, big cousin? Pammy on the line. All right, Kim. Meanest soprano that the Blue Notes ever had. I see you on there. Jessica over there off of 301 Basin back of town. We give thanks for her. Y'all make sure y'all go check out that Black-owned business. We want to make sure that our children understand the importance of their value.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we don't value our children, they go to other places to find value.
Yes.
And that's when we have that's when the elders don't want to be bothered with us. That's when the parents have lost hope. That's when they go to school and they act a certain type of way because we have not taken the appropriate time out with our kids. Now, granted, we get busy.
We do. And we're more busy now than I think ever before.
Yes.
I know. My mom and I were talking about that last night. It's like she was a single mom with 3 children, but was not nearly as busy. Like she still had a lot that was going on, but now we're exposed to so many different things. Children are involved in so many different activities.
Yeah.
The whole world of social entrepreneurship, which brings us to a whole level of commitment to work and jobs. But we have to find that time. And it could be a small 5-minute window, 10-minute window. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. We laugh when we talk about sitting down for dinner. But that's an important time where you can sit down for dinner and discuss your day or talk about what was a good part of the day, what was the struggles, and just kind of have that open communication and listen. And that's a time where you can find out about their interests.
Yeah.
Like even a 4-year-old has things that he or she likes to do.
Man, my nephew, I don't know, my brother's son, my baby brother's son, my nephew Dion, man, he has girlfriends. He tells me about the girl that he dumped, and he's 8. You know what I'm saying? So he's like holding grown folk conversations with me, and it's nuts. And our kids have so much to say. And for those of us who don't, it's 2018, so we don't have to sit at the dinner table. We can sit on the floor in the den.
Yeah. Or in the car.
Or in the car.
Pick them up from school. You can have that time to drive or take a little walk. I mean, get out and see what's going on outside and talk. Teenagers, believe it or not, the best time to talk to teenagers is at night when they're laying in their bed, and you just kind of go sit at the edge of the bed, and you're just like, what's going on with you? By that time, they're starting to wind down.
Okay. Now, I hope y'all taking these notes, because all my people that's lined up on Facebook Live and all my friends who are listening, all of y'all got churn. I got a dog, so my dog listens. You know what I'm saying? I have a DOG. Her name is Juice. All right, for my family who know me, y'all know she's spoiled rotten. The sexiest white girl I ever know is my dog. You know what I'm saying? And I mess with her all the time. But this is important for us to be able to just take out 5 minutes. We talk amongst ourselves all the time. We talk about how we are, and ask children about feelings so they can know it's okay to cry, be happy, and be angry. Thank you so much, Jessica, for putting that down there. That is important. And so when we have these conversations with our kids, and I'm glad you brought that up, Jessica, when we have our conversations in those 5-minute or those 10-minute windows or those however much time that you can offer for that, it's important to be able, especially our boys.
Yes.
Our boys.
And our boys have a lot to say.
Our boys hurt.
They hurt. But you know what? And I'm glad that Jessica brought that up, because when we're talking, it's not just about what you're doing. We want to know feelings as well. And when we talk about our young men, we don't really provide them with an avenue to express what they're feeling. And that starts young as well. And so I want us to see how this all starts at a very young age, that we're instilling things that kind of break down barriers for communication. When a 2-year-old little boy is running and falls, and he scrapes his knee, how often are people telling him, get up and come on, leave it alone. You're okay. Don't cry. That's all right. Like, no, for real, it hurts.
No, suck it up.
Suck it up. No, for real, it hurts. Like, my knee is bleeding. Like,
be a man.
Real. I'm 2. My knee is bleeding. This hurts. And you're telling me, suck it up, be a man. I'm 2. I'm 2. I'm not a man.
We pound him in the chest. Come on, man, you got this. Come on, suck it up. Wipe your tears. Don't cry. You a dude. You got this.
And so when they learn to suppress those feelings, they're learning that at 2 and 3 to suppress their feelings.
So look, I want you to chime in. I want you to chime in for a second. Okay, I want you to chime in for a second. Come on the mic, Corin. Come on the mic for a second. Now you a brother, right?
Right.
All right.
Last time I checked.
Well, I hope it was this morning. We bless the Lord. Amen. I just want to know, like, what were you taught? Did you have the opportunity to kind of be like, cry and express feelings, or like, did you have that chance, or what?
I mean, it was, I didn't have that chance.
Okay.
It was like you have to make power moves even as a young kid.
Wow.
So it really wasn't an option to say I can sit like I could take my 3-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And she can have her moments.
Right. Yeah.
But me, it wasn't really a moment situation.
So if you had a son, just knowing what you're hearing now,
well,
or
I
nephews,
do have a son.
You do have a son, okay?
And he.
I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just because we talk a lot about girls. Girls have the right to be all emotional and oh my gosh and all this other stuff, but our boys are the ones who are hurting, because our boys are the one who are kind of targeted. I mean, both genders are targeted, but our boys get it the hardest.
Well, I took that into consideration because I was a single parent with him.
Okay.
And he was quote unquote sheltered.
Okay.
I made sure he did have that chance to release and express himself or whatever. But on the flip side of that, though, I feel like he's still too dependent on me. He's 18 now.
Okay.
And I was on my own at 17, and I was that, my parents was brush it off, dude. Make it happen.
Yeah.
And I was the flip side, and I was, okay, son, whatever you need, I'm here for you. And it kind of bit me in the butt too. So it kind of makes it difference.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a balance. I really do.
Get out my head. Come on, social worker.
It is truly a balance that we have to find. How do we provide them with an opportunity, one, to express their feelings, but yet still allow them to be independent?
Yeah.
And I think expressing feelings is one thing. Like, even, it's okay to be angry. Like, a 2-year-old that's throwing a tantrum because they can't get the cookies in the checkout line.
Right.
It's okay to tell them, I truly understand. There are times when I want things that I can't get, and I'm upset as well.
Yes, indeed,
so
family.
That is okay.
Yeah.
But then how do we handle that? How do we teach them to respond? Like, it is perfectly okay to be mad at me because I said the word no.
Well, parenting was a learning experience.
It is.
I have an 18-year-old that I raised on my own.
Uh-huh.
And I have a 3-year-old that I'm raising with my wife.
Okay.
So the things that I learned that didn't really work out with that 18-year-old, I'm kind of switching some stuff up. So, for instance, I'll tell my 3-year-old, I understand how you feel, and you have a right to feel that way.
Definitely.
And believe it or not, I learned that in sales. Because it was like...
You said sales?
In
sales.
Yes.
It's a tactic.
I understand how you feel, and many people have felt the same way.
Yeah.
Now, other than that, is there anything else that I can do for you before we move forward to the next step?
And but it all works. And that's what we teach that, though. We teach our parents that. We teach our kids that. They have so many. The crazy thing about it is that they have so many methods out there now. They have so many methods out there now, like Love and Logic.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I like Love and Logic. Call me corny, but I like Love and Logic.
So Love and Logic is where you give your kid 2 choices, and they get to choose one, but the choices that you give are both empowering to the parent, not to the child. You know what I'm saying?
Low.
Huh?
That's so low.
That is not low. That's true.
But the child is normally happy with either choice.
Yeah, with either choice.
Right.
But you give them choices that you know that you would be okay with.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And so either and then the child feels empowered that you're listening. You know what I'm saying? And then you begin to create this relationship of understanding, effective communication, and almost in a sense kind of like bartering. Well, Mom, if you do this, I can,
Right.
But it's the choice of it is that you're always in control as the parent,
right?
And so thank you so much for sharing, because you didn't have to share that, but you were the male voice that we needed. And one of our listeners on Facebook Live said boys have to have a balance.
Yeah.
And that's what she just said. Boys do have to have a balance, and it's difficult because we want our boys to be so strong.
We have to be strong.
Yeah, but women have to be strong too. But I think the boys really get the tough end of the stick because you guys are boys and you are just supposed to be. Yeah. But thank you for sharing that. We're going to kind of continue, and I'm trying to get to the questions and the statements that you guys give. Self-defeating behavior and how to work on changing that. We're gonna come back to that one, Sister Inez, because we got some more things that we want to talk about effective communication. But self-defeating behavior is also taught.
Yes, it is taught, and that goes back to communication. And what are we effectively communicating to them that encourages them and to inspire them and motivate them to not have that defeating behavior? So we can talk a little bit about that later as well.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on that, but thank you so much. And so we're gonna take this last statement, Miss Tammy Fresh Sterling, all the way from Charleston, South Carolina, I believe. I say that all of the time. I always tell folks, stop telling that baby boy not to cry. He has feelings. Men, as boys, are taught not to cry. Suck it up. And when boys become men, it's hard for them to communicate, and we women don't understand why. So it is. And so when men get into relationships, oh my gosh, that's a whole nother. We ain't even gonna touch on that. Tammy, you about to start something on the book of the face. You know what I'm saying? We're not even gonna touch on that because men don't even know how to communicate, don't know how to share feelings. And then if you have a woman who's in touch with their feelings, they gonna say you nuts. And you shaking your head. Don't do that, man. You supposed to be my friend. Don't shake your head back there. Don't shake your head back there. Don't do that. But that is a very good point that you brought up, Tammy, and that is true, and that's something that is definitely plaguing our community. We have gone all off tangent today, but family, we have to take a quick break. Even while we're breaking, if you're on Facebook Live, we can definitely take some of your questions, and Tammy can answer some of. Not Tammy, I'm bringing you on the show. Sister Melanie can also answer some of those questions while we're remaining on Facebook Live. But family, don't you go nowhere. Today is Family First Fridays, and we are talking about effective communication with our children as well as amongst ourselves. So family, stay tuned. Tap a neighbor, tap a friend, and tell them to join us now, because when we come back, we're gonna wrap it up. But it's a beautiful time to be here, a beautiful time to be in the land of living, and begin to work on positive solutions. All right, family. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You will be back. You need to figure that out.
Start your new year out right. Join the New Orleans African American History Alliance presenting
Tammy, I completely hear you.
300 years and counting.
We can stay on that
presence in New Orleans.
Topic all day.
Historic and informative events will
about
take place
men and
January
boys.
17th through April 15, 2018.
Ms. D, we touched on that too. Children learn by example. Ms. D is a pillar in the community, also in the church.
The political struggle 1900 to present, and the economic struggle 1865 to present, and much more. This will include special presentations by Mark Moria.
That too. Molly Falter, all the way from Baton Rouge. She is definitely another social worker that's in the building. Silas, who's an author and a mother. Thank you so much for joining. Jamila Curry, I like Family First Friday. It's our Family Fun Friday. All right, Family Fun Friday. So definitely, so we want to make sure, if you have questions, please make sure that you are asking. We want to make sure that we are giving you what you need to move forward. Like I said, this is not her last time. I'll be back.
The second annual Black Women's Wellness Conference will be hosted at the New Orleans Jazz Market on January 13th, 2018. So what does that mean? You need to be in the building to learn how you can take charge of your health and begin living your best life. Tickets are on sale now. Your registration will include conference swag, lunch and snack, and access to plenty of vendors with more giveaways. Reserve your seat today to mix and mingle with the founder, Dr. Tammy Lewis Wilborn, and other conference guests. For more information, follow Black Women's Wellness Conference 2018 on Facebook and purchase your tickets via Eventbrite today. And we'll see you in January.
Their voice has been stifled.
At Liberty, it's never been easier to bank with us. Go to www.libertybank.net and apply for a checking account to gain immediate access to our wide range of services, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At our new Gentilly branch, use the ATM not only to withdraw, but also to deposit money into your account whenever convenient for you. Go to www.libertybank.net. Open an account now and enjoy the freedom of 24/7 banking with Liberty. There's freedom here. And don't forget to use promo code WBOK.
Very few programs that focus on 0 to 5, yet that is the foundation for everything that you're going to become.
You might think it's just another day, but at Metro
and that's why we keep stressing, and I keep going back to effective communication with our children and the importance. And Ms. D said it too. We model for our children. Our children learn by example. So if we're in the, and we've all done it. There's no one who is 100% great. You know what I'm saying? So if you're around cussing around the kids, if you're around, and it's like I said, it's not a bad thing or whatever, but you have to be mindful that somebody is watching you. So when a little kid come around you and say, "Oh," and you be like, "What you say? You can't be mad. You can't be mad. Oh, you better not be mad. Not if they ever heard you say it once. I never heard you say it once.
It is.
My nephew did it. My mama dropped the egg. He was
unlimited plans.
He said,
How does that make you feel?
You mean I can watch HBO on my phone?
You dropped the egg.
Or your tablet or your smart TV.
So I can watch Game of Thrones and Westworld.
And Insecure and Silicon Valley.
And Veep and Divorce.
And The Deuce and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Plus the latest movies.
Virtually anywhere
on my favorite device.
Even when it's not Sunday night.
Yes, exactly.
And he told my mom, he was
Only
just like,
AT&T
my mom was
gives
just
you
like, oh, you
HBO
think he's special? He
included
was
for
like,
no
yes,
extra
I'm
charge with
valuable.
AT&T Unlimited
He
plans.
learned that
Visit
too.
an
He
AT&T
learned
store
that.
today.
Somebody
He's so
told him
my
that.
nephew, so right now, this ridiculous. He's so smart. We give thanks to his parents, Reese and Scott. Yo, they are amazing parents. And so, but yeah, he told my mom he was valuable. And so those are big words that we need to
WBOK,
We need to
New Orleans.
to empower them. And okay, there we go.
We are on the move, family, on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Welcome to WBOK's new show called On the Move with your favorite Gullah girl, Kyndra Joi, is in the building, family. And we are just so excited to be able to present to you Family First Fridays today. We have our awesome sis right here, Sister Melanie Richardson, who is from Training Grounds. And she has been talking to us today about effective communication with our children as well as amongst ourselves. So that means if you are listening, that means that somebody else is not listening because you are right here. Thank you so much, Molly. Like I said before, Brother Strother, Stone Davis, thank you so much. Make sure that you tap that person on the shoulder and tell them to tune in now live at www.WBOK1230am.com. That's what it looks like, family. You already know. And then for those who just need to be on the telephone and good things like that, they can download WBOK 1230 as an app on Google Play, or they can do it on their iPhones. And because today has been such an amazing topic, if you feel like you want to give a call, we've been taking questions and statements on Facebook Live. You can definitely give us a call at 504-260-9265. That is 504-260-9265. And today has just been an amazing day. We're at the latter part of the show, y'all. So thank y'all for those of you who are just joining in. Thank you. We appreciate you taking your time out to be a part of this this hour of power is what I'm calling this midday rendezvous that we've been doing here for the last couple of weeks. Big ups to WBOK for allowing us to be able to do this once every week, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1. So if you missed it today, it's all right. We'll be back, not on Monday because we're celebrating a great man, MLK Day, but we'll be back here Tuesday with Talk to Me Tuesday. So definitely make sure that you tune in for that too. So we kind of ended the note on, before we went to break, we kind of were talking about boys. And how we are harder on boys and not showing emotions or being able to share their feelings. And we asked our engineer back there, our brother, and he was just telling us how he was, it was hard for him as well to share, or he wasn't allowed, in a sense, to share a lot of his feelings. And so we're going to jump back into the communication piece of it. I hope you got a pen and paper, because it's important not only to us, but our community and our children that we begin to learn how to love one another.
Right.
And to be able to communicate in love. Because that's how people receive it. Our kids, too. They can communicate to you yelling, or they can say, Mommy, I'm having a really tough time. Can I talk to you about this situation? And so that's important for us to be able to share that. So I'm going to let you just jump back in, because we've gotten all kind of like off topic. She has so many papers, but
that's
we just
want to... because it's all about communication. I mean, it really is. And we have to realize what we are effectively communicating. And sometimes it's not so much what we want our children to do. We do things and we communicate things that we may not necessarily understand the lasting impact that it has on our children. And so what we want to do is make certain, too, when we're communicating, is that we respect their opinion.
Ooh.
Anyone that's ever been into acting may have played the game yes and. Okay. And what that is, it allows you, someone will say something and you will say yes and this, as opposed to no but.
Okay.
Because when you say no, but, you kind of shoot their idea down like it wasn't anything valuable or worthy of being heard. Mm-hmm. But when you say, okay, yeah, I hear you, and this. Mm-hmm. And so you add to what they have to say. And so many times as parents, when a child brings something to us, or a coworker or a friend or whatever, it's kind of like, no, but let's try this. Yeah. As opposed to saying, okay, yes. And we can do this, this, or this.
Got you. I got you. So one of the things that you said earlier, and that's just, you said it so beautifully. You were just like, we just have to be present.
Yes.
That present in the moment. And so many times when we're talking, big up Dewana Makiba for joining, give thanks, Brother Lamont, for joining. So many times when we're so busy,
right,
and we're rushing, we automatically just miss. I could be like, no, we're not going to do that. And then the kid be like, or it may have been like a really good idea for the child. Right. Being present in conversations is very, very important. Sometimes I know that I stop as an adult. I have to stop because we're always multitasking, always doing something. And somebody is talking to me and I've missed the whole, forgive me, y'all. I've missed the whole conversation. And so I have to stop and be like, I'm sorry, I missed that. Let me be present with you to be able to hear what you're completely saying. And as parents or as adults and being in the community, we need to do that with our children. Just stop, be present, and just say, hey, I'm listening. You have my full attention, and do the yes and.
Yes.
And not the no but. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that if we can start to be present, be in the moment, listening, acknowledge. Yeah. And there are ways that we can do that. You cannot lean forward. We know those are things that when you're really into what someone is saying, your body language lets you know that. And so if your child recognizes that you're leaning forward when they're talking, or you're like, yes, and you're able to actually kind of rephrase what it is that they're saying.
Yeah.
And you're asking for clarity and understanding. Now they realize, okay, so what I'm saying has some value.
Yeah.
Now, parents, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to agree.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to think that that's what that means.
Like, that lady tripping. Ain't nobody about to do all that. What's wrong with her?
That does not mean that, if your 16-year-old is asking to stay out till midnight, that you're going to be like, okay, I understand what you're saying. Yes, and you can do that. And how about take the keys in the car, too?
It'll be like, no, at all. No, we're not doing that. And we got Miss Jacqueline Brown just joined. She was a principal at Mitchell Elementary in Charleston, South Carolina, so she can definitely understand and appreciate this conversation about effective communication and being present with children, because she did it for years,
right.
For years. So thank you so much, Ms. Brown, for joining. We appreciate you. And we're about to wrap up. I wish you were here early, because I know you have so much input that you can place to this conversation. But yeah, don't think she's tripping. She's just telling you,
that you want to listen.
That you want to listen.
Because even if
that's important.
Like if I have an idea at work and I suggest something to someone and they listen and ask questions, and then we come together to come up with a decision, at least I feel like I was heard.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't mean that my idea was actually taken and what was implemented, but at least I feel like you listened, you asked questions, you sought clarity, and then we were able to come up with what was a good idea. So even with that 16-year-old who's asking to stay out till midnight, it's like, okay, we're going to listen, and we're going to talk about the pros and cons. We're going to talk about what the end result of you staying out that late is going to have on you. What's the impact? And then together we're going to come up with what is something that we can both agree upon. But you can only do that if they hear you out. Sometimes they actually have a pretty good argument.
Yeah,
they might have a really good reason for doing something that initially we thought was like, no, I'm not feeling that.
Yes.
But after you hear them out, you realize, okay, they really did put thought into it.
Yes.
And I think that we have to realize that our children do think things through. Uh-huh. Sometimes it may be based on limited understanding and limited knowledge and exposure, but that doesn't negate the fact that they really did think it through, and they thought for whatever reason that this might have made sense.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna just do a big ups to Anita, Kim, and Joke out there who work over there at 42, who are always trying to do things and make the kids feel a little bit special over there, and trying to be present and trying to give them hugs and smiles and all types of stuff to make them feel valuable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So let's do a couple of tidbits. We got a few more minutes, family. Let's do a couple of tidbits that we can begin to do with our kids and hopefully with ourselves, because when we teach our kids young, they become effective communicators as adults.
Yes. So there's a couple of tips as we go through. I know we're going to be closing out. When you're talking to teenagers, don't lecture. They don't want to hear a lecture. They want to have a meaningful conversation and a dialogue.
They do.
They don't want to hear you lecturing. Don't attack. I encourage parents, don't ask why. We should never start a conversation off with why did you do that? Because they immediately become defensive and will shut down, because why implies that perhaps I've done something wrong. Show respect. Show respect to what it is that they have to say, and you'd be surprised how much more they're going to open up.
Okay.
With teenagers, keep it short and simple.
Teenagers, keep it short and... Okay, parents, you hear that? Because we believe in talking long time.
Short and simple.
Teenagers, keep it short and simple.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try to be their friends. Don't try to use the language that their friends are using, because they're just going to start to now tune you out, because they're like, okay, you are so not it. This is not happening. So
you be like, what, Mom? Don't be wiggity whack, y'all. That's all she's trying to say. Don't be wiggity whack.
And seize the moment.
Okay.
I have a 17-year-old son, and I can tell you that when my son calls me on the phone to talk, I will drop everything to talk with him at 17.
Wow.
Because those moments are far. And, they're just far and in between. It's just not often that at 17 he's going to want, and I can get that phone call at 10:33, and by the time I return the phone call at 10:35, the moment has passed.
Yeah.
the moment has passed. And so if it is something that I can stop at that moment to let him know that what he has to say is important, then seize the moment, take that opportunity, be there for them.
Definitely.
You know, with little children, use their name. Make certain that you have their attention.
Okay.
And even with teenagers, make sure you have their attention before you start talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Use a tone that you want your children to use with you. Talk to them the way that you want them to talk to you. If you are yelling at them, then they are going to think that it is appropriate to yell at other people. So make certain that you use the tone. We don't want to scream. We want to use a very respectful tone. Avoid power struggles. Really, sometimes we get into situations where we get into a power struggle unnecessarily. You know, we talked earlier about giving choices. I'm okay if you want to eat an apple or orange. I'm okay if you want to eat at your grandmother's house or at your cousin's house, if both of those are acceptable places. Give choices, avoid power struggles, and give them something to think about without engaging in a power struggle. You know, give them, if you have a concern, throw it back on them, let them think about it. Come back in 30 minutes on what you thought about it. Just some of the things that we could say. And I want to end it with just saying, praise your child for talking.
Wow.
Let them know that you appreciate conversation, you appreciate taking time out of their business to sit with you and talk with you. You try how far that will.
So this has been like a very, very, and then Tammy said something too. Communication, finding the positive in your thoughts where it fits and the negative in your thoughts where necessary. And so we just want to say thank you for sharing. Communication is such what allows communication and the ability to communicate and grow. There's one, Shalita just joined, Cousin Hannah, Cousin Naomi, Brother Philemon. Thank y'all so much, my family from everywhere, just joining in. So we just want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in. Together we can do so many things, family. We are one body, right, with many parts. And so we just want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is what we do every day, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1, which is give you guys information that's going to not only be able to help ourselves and help our relationships and our families, but our communities as well. So we want to say thank you so much for being a friend. We appreciate you. We give thanks for you. Thank you for taking this time out of your day to be able to participate with us. And catch us on Tuesday, man. And listen to the other shows. WBOK got some really great information going on. So make sure, my family, y'all check out the La Heat days that we got coming up. Tuesday, January 16th through Friday, January 19th, 2018. On Tuesdays is our senior day. We just want to make sure that you guys know that. That's going to be at the Treme Center on 900 North Villery Street. So make sure to do that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. My family who needs assistance, please, y'all check the La Heat website for that information. For more information, visit tca-nola.org or call 504-875-2660. That's 504-875-2660. Thank y'all guys so much. We do appreciate you for listening. Catch us again. Thank you, family, on Facebook Live for listening. Make sure that you love somebody. Make sure to remember that we all share a universal light that we must be able to embrace so we can be able to love ourselves, to begin to love one another, y'all, family. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much, Miss Melanie, for joining. We appreciate you. And check us out again.
And we have a website.
Yes.
www.mytraininggrounds.org. We have an active parenting series that is starting in February. Check our website out for all of our parent learning experiences that are offered by Training Grounds at the Corpus Christi Community Center. So check us out, log onto the website, come join us for an active parenting class that talks about effective communication with 0 to 5. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there.
All right, family, thank y'all so much. We appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Peace, love, and light, y'all. We out.